Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xbox the Box, the number one bi-yearly Xbox podcast. Because the last episode we put up was all the way back in July 4th, 2021. We do apologise for the massive gap in the delay. We do enjoy talking about Xbox, but we've had a lot of issues. But I'm back here with my good friend Alice. Hello, Alice. How are you doing?
Hi. Yeah, definitely alive after 1 year. I can tell you that.
Just about.
The biggest difference with me is that I have more plants in my flat. I've been transitioning from Mac over to Linux. Well, I'm sticking with both. And I have added anxiety, and it's getting a little bit of a problem, but I'm still stronger than ever. So
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I've been suffering from anxiety myself recently, mainly due to work being in a horrible place. So
yeah, I've definitely felt a lot of work-related stress, and it just really ruined me before the pandemic.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I'm at the standing desk in a moment, so now I can talk and stand, which is particularly the kind of thing that voice actors do.
I
So
love it.
now I talk a bit more fluently. So I hope.
Yeah, I've got a standing desk in work as well, so that's fun. That's good. I didn't know that. But yeah, so we're back to talk about Xbox. It's been a while. As our first topic is what have we been doing since episode 3, or what has happened in the world of Xbox since episode 3, because this is episode 4 of the Xbox the Box podcast. Also, I'm on webcam now. If you guys realise, I'm on the Halo ring. I'm in the Halo. Speaking of Halo, that won my Game of the Year last year. I don't know if that's the same with you, Alice. What was your Game of the Year 2021?
Well, I'm afraid that I have forgotten so much about the last year that I don't know what really was the game of the year for me. But I think I would end up digging into the Xbox's back catalogue and see which one is great. But bear in mind, it's talking about Psychonauts 2.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Forza 5. Well, I only play Forza 4, but I think there's some other games as well. But
yeah,
I just tend to be picky and just don't go into any one of these.
Yeah, because I did a video on my Game of the Year. My top 3 was Forza Horizon 5, Metroid Dread, and Halo Infinite. I know Halo Infinite has been a bit controversial because the roadmap hasn't been the best, and their DLC, all the multiplayer and all that hasn't been up to everyone's really high standards. I personally really enjoy the multiplayer, and I've played a lot of multiplayer in Halo.
Way more than you, actually.
You've played more than me, yeah. Actually, you've actually finished the second season pass. I haven't quite yet. I'm taking.
Yeah, and I've also bought a bunch of stuff on the shop as well, which is probably controversial to people because Sean W, the YouTuber, he just been reviewing the shop items every week, and he gives a pass to a lot of them. That was until there's that update about 2 weeks ago where he saw a really nice pack that's got a white gun with gold axes and a warthog.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's really interesting, so he bought that. But he's got so complained at by other people that they think as if he should be better off spending his money elsewhere. And that's when he went in the shop, buy all the levels, which is worth about 120 quid, and got all the way to 100, saying, "You don't tell me how I spend my money, and this is a donation." So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just still spend on Halo Infinite. I recently got the Rat Cacher, the White Pack.
Nice.
I think there's some other bits as well, but I still spend on the shop. But now I just try to be so careful to not spend too much because, yeah, as many others said, that it's really bad if you somehow however, it's just really so bad if you have to support the 343 if they've been so incompetent.
Yeah.
I get that people like say, "Oh, I don't support the shop," but I tend to buy stuff, and it's just really good to have those in. But
Yeah.
it just shows a more underlying problem. It's just how much they tip the balance between all this free content. Like you get all this free content in like Halo 5, except more of them are locked behind loot boxes. But in Halo Infinite, it's like they shifted the balance towards more paid stuff. Like the Battle Pass used to be 120 levels, but they reduced it to like 100.
Yeah.
And some of the items there ended up in as store items, and I just think this is just a bit scummy. I just can't believe it. Like they got some of the items there that you have to buy, and I just felt cheated for getting the Battle Pass. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Microtransactions are like the thing I hate the most in the industry, apart from making LFTs, which is like the new thing that everyone hates. But I've never been a fan of. I've never been a fan of microtransactions. They are the bane of my life. But then Halo is free, so I'm like, I don't resent them too much. But I buy a couple of things. I imagine you bought the cat ears because I know you love the cat ears, right?
Oh, you mean perfect audio?
Is that what they call it on there?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right.
If you see my webcam, I got cat ears on too.
Yeah.
It's just that in the moment my flat is a bit of a mess. Like there's a box there waiting to go outside, and there's a couple of plants I need to move around. And here I am wearing the headset with cat ears on. So
the only armor I've bought, which wasn't in the battle pass, is kind of a new one. It was like it looks kind of like steampunky, and it's like got like a golden like mohawk basically. It's like blue and gold. It's pretty cool. I bought it because I had points left over, so I thought, oh, why not? I thought it looked cool, so I bought it.
do you mean the Night Witch pack for the Iron Strike or Iron Eagle?
It might be. It's the new armor they've have season 2. Yeah. That's like a golden mohawk.
Yeah, that's what I got as well, which is the Sky Marshal pack.
Yeah.
Which is the blue and gold.
That's the one, yeah.
The aviator hat or some sort.
Yeah, that's the only one I've bought because I had credits run over from my battle pass, so I thought, why not?
But before that, you bought the samurai blades as well.
Oh, I did buy the samurai blades, yeah, because I'm obsessed. I'm a weeb. I love me some Japanese. I love samurai stuff. I mean, I've also since we last spoke, I've bought myself a PS5. And all I've been playing on it is Ghost of Tsushima, so there's that. That's the correlation there with the samurai sword. Yeah,
pretty much like said, oh, you definitely stick with the Xbox. Oh, never mind. I just got a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
I've only got like the game on it. When there's like lots of other exclusives on it as well, like Horizon.
I mean, I have Horizon. I just barely played it. I've got a big part. I actually have more games on disc for PS5 than I have for my Xbox because I'm mainly a digital Xbox gamer. I mean, you were telling me earlier about your disc on your Xbox playing up your disc drive.
First of all, PS5, like, I decided to stick with Xbox because I don't want to buy so many game consoles compared to the last generation. And even so, trying to fit that thing in is less manageable than having to consider getting the dedicated Blu-ray player.
It is.
I heard that PlayStation 5 does the Blu-ray discs more than like the Xbox.
I don't.
That comes from the reviews.
I'm not sure about that because I haven't watched any films on my PS5. But you are right; it is obscene the size of the thing. It is ridiculous how big that console is. I have a massive like 4K TV, and it's almost as big as the TV. The PS5 it is ridiculous. I thought it was big from pictures, but when I actually got it, it blew me away how massive the thing is. But as you said yourself, I personally prefer the Xbox. If you said I could only get one console this generation, it would be the Xbox. I prefer the controller. Yes. Game Pass is better. The system looks much nicer. It's more powerful. I could, and I'm a big Halo fan, as we were having a massive discussion there. And the future of Xbox really excites me, whereas the future of PlayStation, I'm not super keen on. Like, it's funny because PlayStation are moving into live service games, whereas Xbox are moving
Yes.
more into single player games. They kind of swap positions, which is quite funny.
I think they do actually attract more multiplayer games, of course,
Yeah,
and especially like they allow free multiplayer games to be played without getting Xbox Gold.
yeah,
But it's interesting. Like, I was thinking I would end up getting disc games, but ever since I just got into Game Pass and been dipping my finger into lots of different games, being pies, it's just I ended up like paying more for the Xbox Game Pass than have to spend on like disc games.
yeah.
And speaking of which, there's been like more sales. It shows more sales to me, and like, oh, they keep having these things discounted and everything. So I ended up like buying more games on sales as digital games, especially the Lego games as well. Which is I thought, wow,
I've bought so
got them
much.
into my disc.
I've bought a load of digital games. I bought Resident Evil 4 was 13 quid on Xbox. Well, no, it was £13 for Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, or you could just buy 4 on its own for £15. So I bought 4, 5, and 6 for cheaper.
Wow.
And I bought Resident Evil 2 for £13 as well. And then I went on to the PS5 store, and it was like double the price. It was like 40 quid. So I'm glad I got an Xbox. I've also bought the Tomb Raider trilogy, and I bought the Batman trilogy digitally. The sales are very good on Xbox, I must say. The prices are so good. As we've been saying, I'm looking at my pile of PS5 games. I've got about 5 or 6 games on disc, whereas Xbox I've got like 2 games on disc. But my library is ridiculous because they're all digital. But my digital library is ridiculous. My backlog is obscene.
I just got an external hard drive disc for it as well, so I could put more games on it because it's so you could just get the main 1 terabyte drive that's inside the Xbox Series X, and you'll be surprised like how much it quickly fills up. Especially you have Forza by the Halo Infinite and even the Sky Simulator, which fills up about a quarter of your drive.
Yeah.
And it's just getting a bit more ridiculous.
Because they've just released the Top Gun Maverick DLC for Flight Simulator, and I really want to play it, but I'm not willing to download 200 gigs of data or however much it is for Flight Sim.
Also, you have to go into the game in order to like get and even like download stuff. It doesn't use the Xbox download manager. Instead, like uses the Flight Simulator's download manager, which you can even like put your Xbox to sleep, which is a bit inconvenient. But as about the sales, like I got the Xbox games for like 2 or 3 quid each, and some of the more recent releases for like 20 quid, which is good. The one game that just get constantly discounted is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This one like comes on like about between 2 to 5 quid.
Oh really?
And I was just like, well, if you keep discounting it, why don't you just permanently give it a price cut? Because if you keep discounting it, then you might as well have to like give it a price cut, or even send away for free.
I would.
This is
So I'm actually considering I'll buy that in a minute after the podcast is finished. That sounds like a good sale to me. 2 to 5. I've not got around to playing that one. I've only played the first the first of the reboots DSX. This is the only ones I've played.
Well, but just be careful though, because this is a full premium price game that has microtransactions in it.
Well, maybe
and
not.
not only
then.
that, it is tied to like the save file, so it doesn't carry over to your other save files.
Oh.
And that's where the microtransactions in it are just pretty much rank.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just got them on like the PlayStation 4 when it came out.
Yeah.
But ever since I sold my PlayStation 4, I ended up like keeping the games away and not being able to play any of them, and that includes Sonic Forces.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a Sonic Direct like a couple of days ago. There's a new Sonic Forces coming out, I think, for mobile, which is like, oof. Are you gonna get Sonic Origins? I'm thinking I might. It's the original Sonic games remastered.
I think I may end up like getting Sonic Origins just for the Nintendo Switch, because this is the kind of game that you would definitely take it on the move. The Xbox, I think I'm not sure about it, but what's ridiculous about it is that it has pre-order bonuses which are not actually useful. Like, they sell the whole thing. Like, you get Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as well as like what's it called? Sonic CD. You get all 4 of these, which are remastered versions. Then you just put them into like a £32 package, and now you get a digital deluxe edition, which gives you pre-order bonuses, which are not actually needed for the game.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they stack more features in and just ruins the Unix approach. Or you just want, they just seem to give you as much as they can for the price. And all you need to do is just like you just want to play the Sonic games.
Exactly. So speaking of buying and selling, Microsoft have decided to try and buy Activision. That's something that's happened since we've done our last podcast, which is such big news. We should have really done a podcast on it when it happened.
And then it just gotten quiet, actually.
It's got quite recently, yeah.
Yeah, they bought Activision. Now it's just, all I'm hearing is just those sex assault cases that's coming out of Activision still. And it just seems as if like Microsoft and Activision are just rolling about in their chairs.
Yeah, it is a lot of paperwork they've got to go through apparently to get this done. I mean, obviously that's horrible, the sexual harassment stuff, but as a gamer, I'm super excited for the back catalogue of Activision games to come onto Game Pass, and I Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty anymore, but if it's free on Game Pass, I will probably play it. if it's available to me for free on Game Pass, I think that'll be a fun game to play with my friends. So I'm excited for. I mean, imagine it will happen when they got it. Yeah,
you never know if that gets announced on like Xbox conference later this year, but who knows?
It could be. I mean, they got to get all the legal jargon sorted first. Apparently, Sony still own the legal rights to, still have the promotional rights to Call of Duty still, even though the Xbox are going to be buying Activision. I'm excited to see what happens with that. I mean, that was probably the biggest news we missed was the Activision purchase.
Well, the Activision, once they get rid of those promotional rights, they end up like spending more into Bungie, because you see, Bungie used to work with Microsoft. They then moved over to Activision, and that's before they went independent. But then they just like bought back by Sony. So
yeah, it's weird because they were like, "Oh, we want to stay independent. We want to stay independent," and then they've sold to Sony, which is very strange. And it's what people were saying is weird to think that the people who made Halo now belong to Sony, and the people who and Xbox own Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. So it's like they've swapped places. It's very weird. It's a very strange thing.
Topsy-turvy world, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it makes ever since I didn't get it at first why they would buy him because of the money. It's like they spent a lot of money on Bungie, and Destiny's still going to be cross-platform, but apparently they're invested in lots of live service games, and they're using Bungie to like teach people how to do live services. If you're going to do a live service game, then I suppose you learn from the best. Bungie have been probably the best live service game available. I would say
what I'm like most excited about is that because the Microsoft buys Activision, they should have access to Battle.net as well, which is the PC front end for like things like Call of Duty, Blizzard games, and everything. It's really a much more reliable service compared to like the Windows front end, where you have an Xbox app, but sometimes it just doesn't work all the time, and it doesn't like deal with updates to the games well. Sorry, and there's many people who are complaining like how it's just not working so well, how they just can get their PC games working when they could have bought it on Steam. Plus, on Steam Deck, you only like stream Xbox games on it so far. That is unless you have to put Windows on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And I think they're just trying to like get people funneled over to their own services. But I just reckon like because they bought Activision, they will probably take over Battle.net, and it will turn into another Steam. And I think that would be like the most practical thing when it comes to like Xbox on the PC.
I mean, that is. No, sorry, go on. Sorry, I was just.
I just think it's usually a positive thing. What I'm also hoping is that Microsoft will get to merge like Bethesda accounts over to Microsoft, because Minecraft used to be like Mojang, but they recently have to migrate all the Mojang account holders into using like a Microsoft account, and I think that's really good. But then that could be biased because I do like using Xbox, and Microsoft account is most useful to me.
Yeah, and you can get achievements while playing on Switch and PC, which is like, yay, achievements.
Yeah.
But no, and that is a good point. I was going to mention that. It's the fact that now Xbox, well, they don't own them yet, but they're going to own Activision, but they also own King and Blizzard, so they're going to be like, they'll have more people working on mobile stuff and more people working on PC stuff. So hopefully their business will grow more. It'd be good for PC gamers to have. I think that they're going to put more money into the PC space because of this, and I feel like we might have a bit more integration between both sets of users, and will become more. Essentially, the PC Xbox will be like almost like one group of users, whereas PlayStation will be its own island on its own somewhere else. You know,
I just think like they also have rights to like Overwatch, and I think that's really good. But I still have a problem where I got all this progression that it's on the PlayStation version and the PC version, and there's currently no way to like sync those purchases between them, which means I can't get them on the Xbox. So I tend to avoid playing Overwatch on the Xbox.
That makes sense.
But I think what's even worse is there's Overwatch 2. There's a beta coming out, but it wasn't that impressive, and people claimed it's as if it's a step backwards from the original.
Really?
And I'm like, it's not looking too good there. It's just almost as if like you would try like Valiant, and there's also the Paladins.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried any of those alternatives to Overwatch?
I've played a little bit of Paladins. I wasn't fussed. I mean, the only shooter I really play is Halo, hence why I'm such a massive Xbox fanboy. I mean, that is the only shooter I've really got into, but I mean, that's a good point, is that we're going to have Overwatch as well on Game Pass, I imagine. And this is like a big coup to get a load of stuff onto Game Pass. I was thinking it would be good if they... Because PlayStation have Final Fantasy 14 as a giant MOBA on their system. It'd be good if we actually tried to get World of Warcraft on Xbox. That would be a good thing for Xbox to have the biggest MMO on their system. It would be a good way of branching out.
And not only that, you have like Hearthstone.
Oh, I love Hearthstone. Hearthstone is one of my... I love card games, so I would love to play some Hearthstone. Play that on my
Just
Xbox.
so we can still play it on like PC and the tablets, because I think that's the best way to play it on. But I do wonder whether that's going to play well on the Xbox. So
we'll see. Yeah. So obviously since July as well, we've had the delay of Starfield and Redfall. Redfall, I think I'm more no. I was gonna say I'm more surprised by Redfall, but I'm not really. Like Starfield, they had like a date in pen, in permanent. They're very positive they were going to hit that date, whereas Redfall, it was like, it's coming summer, and then we haven't heard anything since. So that's not that surprising, I suppose. But the fact that it was supposed to come out in summer and it's been delayed till next year, that's almost a year delay. Whereas Starfield, it might only be a 3 or 4 month delay, you know? I mean, it's worrying.
Well,
go on, sorry.
Well, my biggest gripe is that there isn't so much gameplay to come out of like Starfield, so I don't know what the Starfield is supposed to be like. Is it like No Man's Sky or some sort?
I mean, they've just basically said it's Skyrim in space, so I mean, I like Skyrim, I like space. I mean, that sounds good to me. Probably be
So
like No
it's
Man's Sky.
basically like space Skyrim, is it?
Yeah, I mean that's what Outer Worlds is. So I mean it sounds like Outer Worlds a little bit. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work. I think you probably have like 6 or 7 planets probably you can visit and have Skyrim type missions. Obviously, we haven't seen anything from it. I imagine we will see it at the showcase coming up, and we will discuss our predictions for the showcase as well. But I mean, my main concern for Redfield and Starfield, Redfall and Starfield being delayed, is that they were Xbox's 2 big hitters this year. They kind of put all their eggs in that basket, and they've seemed to both be delayed. And then also we had Stalker 2, which has been delayed because of the war in Ukraine. So I mean, Xbox is looking a bit barren this year. I'm really hoping we can, when we get to the showcase, I'm hoping there's going to be a couple of games they've been saving for a rainy day they can bring out and hopefully cover the rest of the year. You know.
I've been watching taking snippets from like the PlayStation podcast, and apparently they've been saying that, like, about like how much they've been releasing sequels and it comes on the Xbox, and they seem to be thinking like, oh, is it going to be Tunic 2? If it is, it's bad. Like, as if they don't have any original franchises there. But then I think that's just the whole case, because I think like they don't have so many original franchises for all systems. It's just like relying on sequels, and this is the same story with anything else than like Xbox. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, with Xbox, you've got the. I think this is from another podcast I listened to called Defining Dukes. They always call it the Burgers, Chips and Shake, which is Forza, Halo, Gears. Like, they have the 3 pillars of Xbox, and then PlayStation have all this variety. Whereas Xbox, we still got the 3 pillars, but we're trying to get more stuff. But I mean, if you're a fan of Halo, Gears, and Forza, which like I am, then we're happy, we're eating, we're good. But we need a bit more variety, really.
Well, the PlayStation, on the other hand, they have like God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon.
Exactly.
And even they're going to bring out Gran Turismo 7 over as well, or is it Gran Turismo 8? I think it is Gran Turismo 8, but yeah, I think they do rely on those Burger Horizon.
Yeah.
Soda over there as well.
Ghost of Tsushima as well.
But yeah, but Nintendo is like way worse, because you know it's going to have Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon on it.
Yeah, I mean, the big game this year is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for the Nintendo, and Splatoon 3. I mean, Splatoon's a new franchise, but they're already on their 3rd rendition of it, so that's their newest franchise.
Well, I'm going to be on like Pokemon Violet. I might be able to get around to it, but it's supposed to have co-op multiplayer in it as well.
Yeah. Where
you can roam around the open world. So when that comes out, it would definitely like get me across and like catch all the mons.
I mean, I'm totally going to be playing Pokemon Violet. I think Violet's the one I'm going with as well. I'm excited for it, but it's also because Starfield was meant to be coming out the 11th of November, and now it's been delayed. It's like Pokemon takes that spot because it's coming out in November as well. So it makes me a bit more happy that we actually have something to play in November. So
yeah, I think we definitely, like, when November comes, we would definitely need to find Cat and Scarlet in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is that everything we've really missed since July last year? I mean, I'm trying to think of other stuff. I mean, there was Elden Ring, which came out, and I absolutely adore that game. And spoiler alert, it's probably going to be my game of the year 2022. I can't see any game taking it over. It's going to have to be a very special game for me to not.
So how do you find it then? Is it like Dark Souls?
Yeah, it's very much like Dark Souls. Well, it's basically Dark Souls, but in an open world. It's Dark Souls Breath of the Wild, basically. It's got an open world, but it does it's one of the best open world games I've ever played. It's the map is really well designed, and it's like but then it's like not like go over here and collect 12 plant pots to unlock this thing. And, like, it's not got all that rubbish, or like over the top like lists of missions to do and like pop-ups on your mini map and stuff like that. It doesn't have any of that. It's just like, oh, that mountain looks interesting, I'm gonna go over there and see what's up there, and then you get distracted by you see stuff on the way, you know. I adore that game. I have always liked the Dark Souls games, but I've never finished one. I own Dark Souls 1 to 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls. I own all of them, and I never completed one until this one. This is the first Souls type game I've completed.
I completed like Bloodborne before.
Yeah.
It was really hard, but it's highly accessible.
Yeah.
And I think I got a platinum for it, if I remember.
Oh wow. Yeah, I want to get the 1000 gamer score for Elden Ring, but I'm stuck on Milena. I think her name's Milena. She is insanely difficult. I can't beat her. I was a magic user, so I was doing like kamehamehas type of things, just like shooting laser beams out of my wand. It was the coolest thing ever. Like I found a spell. I found a build where basically if the enemy stands still for like 2 or 3 seconds, I can literally like kill him in one shot. It like melts their health bar completely. It's absolutely amazing. And I got the blood sword that everyone has. I love that game. I want to just go back and play it now. Really, and the problem is I've beaten it now, so I'm like, I kind of want to play new games, but I'm also tempted to go back to it. I don't know. That's probably the biggest game that's come out since our last podcast, and as I said, it's probably gonna be my game of the year. I can't see anything else doing it.
Yeah, so I've just been like playing other games too. Like, I've been playing the Gunk, the Tunic, and I've also like dipped my fingers on Omo and all those like other indie games that come out of Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I just been into like Forza Horizon 4 because I think it's really nice to go around Scotland instead of like going whichever is at like
Mexico.
Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah. Instead of Mexico, it's Scotland.
Yeah, but I've been spending more time on like Halo Infinite, where I was like grinding myself through like wiki challenges and going through like bits like that and checking the store.
Excuse me.
But now it's just like they don't do daily items in the shop, and they change the items there every week.
Oh yeah.
And there's like there's weekly challenges there which you can get rewards there. But I'm just getting more fatigued. Like towards the end of season 1, there's some like really interesting things like a fox coat, armor coating and the black visor, but I just couldn't get around to it because I got so burnt out from like playing the same game. Like they don't have so much content there, and it just really bothers me. Then season 2 comes out, Last Spartan Standing, really good, but it's just like they keep like throwing in things like team snipers, and they're gonna have team doubles and 5v5 stuff in it. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting, but I think it's a little too late because they're supposed to like have it like 3 months of season 2, but they extended it to like 6 months. But they're hoping to like bring out campaign co-op and stuff like that. But I think it's just like they're struggling to give more content to it, and we've got like 2 new maps since the game's launch. I mean, what the hell?
It is frustrating because I'm the same as you. I completed the first season pass, and then I was like, now what? And I literally just didn't have anything to do. So now this is why I'm taking my time with the second one. I didn't want to rush it, but they spread the season pass so thin. It's very, very frustrating.
I got so many double XPs that I ended up completed the battle pass so quickly.
Yeah.
Plus, you get like double experience on like Lucas League bottles. So I had like about 4 of them, and I got like extra ones. But even so, you have them lying around because you already completed your battle pass.
Yeah.
And so far, the events are like, oh, complete those challenges to progress them. No need to gain experience on it. So that's it. So I think it would have been more sensible if we feel free like to put it back to 120, or even give out rewards with it. Like, cause it's already proving this. If Fortnite has got like more better battle passes there, even though you can still level up your battle passes you bought before.
Yeah.
But even so, they just still encourage you to spend more on Halo Infinite, and that's a huge problem.
They should have.
But I do have. So, yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. What I've always thought is they should have a second, like a second progression, or like a prestige, or like in Call of Duty you have like prestige, where when you get to max level you can start over. Like they should have something like that. I don't understand why that's not in there. Like there's like a second leveling up system. Even if I don't unlock anything, I'm just like, can I just have another? Like I just want something. I just want something to drive me to keep playing. I get what you mean, and like what I also don't understand is they've only added 2 maps. Why don't they add Blood Gulch or like the Pit or like some classic maps? Surely that would help.
Apparently they got like 10 maps in development. But they only like released 2.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like they're allocating more resources to the maps, and for what is supposed to be really simple like events, they made it more complicated, and it's taking more time for them to deal with it. So I think the real problem is it's just like what they got there is just pretty good, but the management, I imagine, they kind of suck.
Yeah.
And you have like top people from like 343 like leaving there, and I feel as if they haven't got around like keeping a good workflow with the project, and that's my issue there.
Yeah, they need. It's too slow. Everything's just too slow. The progression system is way too slow, and they need to work on that.
I think they should have a Sonic event there.
Yeah. Well, any of that.
But speaking of which, I know the prestige stage is because you have the level that's attached to your profile.
Yeah.
But the levels are like attached to the season pass.
Yeah, which is also frustrating.
So I think it's better if you have like crossover passes or event passes they can buy. Like in Paladins, there's a Ruby pass coming out soon.
Yeah.
And you get to unlock the 4 main characters. You can like level up to 30, and you can get like all those special rewards. That's not attached to the battle pass, but it is attached to the separate pass. So I think this is something that 343 can do, because it shows how easily you can switch between battle passes there and focus on the progression at the time. So maybe that's an opportunity for 343 to even try.
I mean, I hope so. That is my main thing with Halo, is that I just want them to do something, make the battle pass a bit better. I'm enjoying Halo for what it is. It was my game of the year, but I can see why people are frustrated. But yeah,
I think unlike a lot of Halo players who are like, oh, this thing is a total like dog shit, and it's a huge failure because they haven't even got it off the ground. But I'm one of the fewest people in the world who has some kind of hopium.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I still like to play it when I get a chance, but I'm trying to pace myself, because I know it's not gonna this battle pass is gonna be gone as soon as if I really want to complete it, I could. I'm just taking my time with it, you see.
Well, the only thing is that when you have to catch up on your battle pass when the event ends, you have to buy the recent battle pass in order to unlock all the challenge slots for the other passes.
Yeah, that's frustrating. They need to fix that as well. I don't understand why they did that. That's so dumb.
I think they want you to spend money, which is why it's not likely to be fixed.
No.
They want your money. Honestly.
How dare they? How dare they? But yeah.
Well, anyway, so
should we move on?
The things that I hope for is that they are looking to they're looking at possibly allowing you to switch parts in the armor kits, they change helmets and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for that, and I was holding off until I can get the armor kits for the Halo Championship Series. But now they just Season 2 comes and they replaced all with warlocks and guns. So I'm a bit gutted about that.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
They should have put in the update where you should swap armor between all armors.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to have cross-core system where everything you can get from Mark 7 you can retroactively fit it on Akasha or even the Samurai armor as well. So I think that is really good.
Yeah, that's something they need to work on, definitely.
There's also there's definitely some rumors that Creative Assembly is interested to work on Halo Infinite. So
Yeah.
they're going to do like a battle royale, and
Yeah.
there's leaks to suggest they are definitely going to release that.
That was one of my
Then-
predictions coming up in a minute. But yeah, the Halo Battle Royale, that is a thing that has been rumoured. Hopefully we'll see that sooner rather than later.
But what I do have the main thing that I hope they will improve Halo Infinite, which people are hoping that Season 3 is when it definitely tells you that Halo Infinite is no longer a beta, and hopefully brings some new content across.
Yeah.
Because there's some like rumors like Mark 6 armor coming over.
Yeah.
They're gonna like have Forge coming over later this year, and they're just gonna have some like custom maps, and that's when Halo Infinite is gonna get better, because
I hope so,
the
yeah.
main problem of the game is that it's a definite lack of maps. When they have Forge maps in, it just adds more variety, just like what it did for like Halo Reach and Halo 5.
Exactly.
So I just feel that once they throw in the Forge mode, Halo Infinite will start to get better.
Yeah, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully they bring back some classic maps. I would love as I said, Blood Gulch or the Pit or something like that. Any of those type maps, I would love to see again.
Yes.
So we're running out of time really, so we really should start moving on to the topic of the show, which is our E3.
Bye, predictions.
E3 non-E3 Summer Game Fest predictions.
What's E3?
Yeah, E3's dead. So I'm now
That's why.
I'm now in Minecraft. By the way, I've just changed my background because why not? So now I'm inside Minecraft, and we are going to do our predictions. Ooh.
Be careful the frogs be coming behind you because of the new wild update.
Yeah, that which came out on my birthday, which is like, thank you. That's a nice present from you, my Emojan. I appreciate that.
And that was yesterday. So
yeah.
Happy birthday, you.
Thank you. 33 years young.
33? You mean 34?
No, I'm 33.
Oh, you said to me it's like 30. Oh no, it's 33. Sorry.
So in 4 months, I will be a third of a century old. Ooh. That makes me feel old.
But the best way to like not make the time go faster, just learn new things, and the time gets slower.
Yeah.
That's the big tip.
Time goes slower when you're just focused in on these press conferences, because this Xbox Bethesda Showcase that's all I've been thinking about for the last month. It's like, come on, hurry up! I want to see what you've got. Show me what you've got. So what we're gonna do? 5 predictions each. We're gonna start off with safe predictions. Then we're gonna do possible predictions. Then very crazy predictions. So I don't know how do you want to do it. Do you want to do two safe ones, 2 crazy, and 1 like possible, or do you want to do? What do you think? What do you think?
Let's get on with it, because already like got it from like the safest all the way to the craziest.
Well, that's good. Okay, so do you want to go first?
And you're probably going to find it annoying because that's related to what I spoke recently.
Okay, no, it's fine.
It's free cosmetic content for Halo Infinite.
Okay. Well, so that you think in the showcase they're gonna go, if you're a Game Pass member or Xbox Gold or just it's free in general, they'll just go download this costume, this armor set for Halo for watching the conference. Is that what you're thinking, or are you thinking it's more general than that?
When you like log in next time, you get something like that. Because I think like when Xbox conferences, they usually announce like free things.
Yeah.
Also, that they've been giving out like free items, and I'm not just talking about Lucasade, because they got stances, armor coatings, and stuff for like watching the Halo Championship series on Twitch.
Oh,
Link
okay.
your Twitch account, and you can like get Halo stuff with it. But I hope it's not the case for like E3, because that would be extra annoying. And I just hope like where you get Pride icons,
Yeah,
mental health icons, stuff like that, and even the heritage ones.
Yeah.
I think they would announce something similar that if you log in just after the conference ends, you can get free stuff.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, it would like on Game Pass, you can get free there's usually a free color, like a green icon for either the mongoose or a gun or something, and then you can also get a free trade pass, and you also get a double XP as well every month. I think they do that, so it'd be good if they do something like that as well.
The consumables are probably better because I'm getting really sick of green stuff that comes out of it, and I wanted something a bit different.
Yeah, Xbox is green. We got to know about it, and that's the whole thing. No, I think this is a good prediction. Do you think? I mean, I like the idea of also. They like to shadow drop stuff. That's like a big thing with Game Fest and E3 and stuff, isn't it? So it might be like, and it's available. No, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I love that stuff. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good. I mean, it's pretty safe. We're saying about safe predictions. I think that's pretty safe. I never thought of it until you just said it, but I think I think that does sound safe to me. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, is there anything else you would? Do you think there's anything specific they're going to do with the armor? Like, is it going to be like Starfield related or something, like to tie it to the conference or something like that, or whatever their big game is?
Probably ketchup and mustard, like E3, or even make it like green, like the Game Pass freebies. It's not going to be too exciting, really, because if you look at the free armor you can get at the start of the game, it's like blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see that on most of the players in the game.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. So it's going to probably be super basic. It might even just be an emblem or something, mightn't it? But no, I think that's a safe bet. If you log in now, you can get this cool outfit. I think that'd be sweet. What I would love to see is more like Xbox, crossovers. I would love it if they just go, if you sign in today, you get Doom Guy as an outfit for Halo. I'd be like, hell yeah! I like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But they don't seem to do that much lately, which is there's something they need to work on, I think. Yeah, I think that's a good first prediction. Was there anything else you would say about that, or should I say my first prediction?
Go ahead.
So my first prediction, and it's probably the safest of the safe, is we're going to probably see Project Pentiment. I think it's John Sawyer from Obsidian has been teasing it, saying he's going to show his new game. And it's supposed to be a murder mystery, non-combat RPG set in the Middle Ages, which is similar to Disco Elysium. It's made by a small team in Obsidian of about 18 people. But he keeps tweeting out stuff like, I'm just the Xbox conference is coming up, and he's just like, I'm just here painting my nails and stuff like that, or I'll be there or something like that, just teasing the fact that he will be there, showing off his new game. So I think Project Pentiment is something we're going to see. Is it a 2022 game? That's the big question. I hope so. It'd be good if we actually had some games coming out this year. It does feel a bit like a wasteland at the moment. There's nothing on the horizon until 2023.
Yeah,
so
that kind of sounds like a university project. Like you just have games that are either sequels or some really safe original franchise starts.
Yeah.
And for what you're describing there, it just kind of sounds as if students come in, we have to innovate, throw some ideas together, and you've got a murder mystery set in the medieval ages. And it's just that definitely sounds as if we went to Newport, we have to make something for Xbox, and there we go. We just throw all these things
that is
together
true.
And see if we can make it in Panda 3D engine.
That is true. Because I mean, if people don't know, me and Alex both went to the University of Newport and did games design. So yeah, I mean, you are right. It just reminded me of doing a games design course. It's literally there's 3 or 4 of us in a group, and what do you want to make? And then I'll be say something I want to make a platforming game because that's what I like to make, and then someone will go, I want to make a Middle Ages RPG with no combat. It's also a murder mystery. I'm like, okay, mate, cool. All right then.
I think this will delight one of the lecturers there, because I think he has like daughters, and he originally had a pink lesson there where the games are, you should make games that doesn't have combat in order to attract the female population. And I was like, maybe it's possible to have a game that doesn't have any combat in, but I think the thing is, video games like lots of combat, lots of competition, lots of conflict.
Yeah.
When you realise that the female population do actually like those kind of games,
Yeah.
it's just how they perceive them, thinking as if it's just for boys. When obviously this is a bit preposterous, because I think these games are like for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we like games that has cute stuff and it still has combat in.
I mean, I enjoy Animal Crossing and I also enjoy Doom. So I mean, I don't like I can like games without combat and with combat. And I've got all my cousins are female and they all like all types of games as well, violent games, non-violent games. You know, Grand Theft Auto or The Sims. You know, I think that's a bit of a generalization saying that, but I do feel like combat, having a non-combat game does appeal to some people, because I quite like having a chill game as well. I like to play everything, like and stuff like there's sometimes I want to play Halo and go around shooting people, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna fly around in Flight Simulator and do nothing for like 2 hours, just fly over Cardiff and just have a little look at where have a look at
it's really good experience on the Xbox.
Yeah,
it's just like you just do anything. There's not like goals in mind or anything like that. But I think the real trouble is it's just like it's not easy for you to like save, because you're expected to save into a file.
Yeah,
like it just like, and then you load it up and somehow you get messed up when you left off, and it's like, This is not on a fucking PC. This is on an Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's very impressive for Xbox, honestly.
Yes.
I mean, Project Pentiment. I mean, I feel like we are going to see it. As I said, the big question is it in this year or is it next year? And it sounds like such an odd concept for a game. As you said, it does sound like a university game. Yes. It's very odd. But I'm intrigued. I'll definitely give it a try. I mean, if it's going to be on Game Pass, so why not? You know, give it a shot.
Hey.
What's your second prediction, Alice?
Forza Motorsport 8.
Yeah, that's on my list of a safe one as well. I was going to say that, but I thought I'd change it. Yeah, that was my number one safe. That's the safest prediction we got. I think that's the big game for this Christmas. I think. After Starfield's been delayed, I think that's the safest bet we could possibly come up with.
Because while Forza 4 and 5 are on store for you to download, the latest game, Forza Motorsport 7, is no longer available to buy as digital on a store.
Oh, I didn't
so
know
they
that.
must be racking up this game with better graphics and something to compete with Gran Turismo 8.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Forza Horizon 5 is better than Gran Turismo 8. So, but the new Forza, it looks really, from what we saw briefly a couple of years back, it looked interesting. And it's going to be next gen only or current gen only, which is good. So we're just going to be pushing the power of the series. I think it's about time we let go of the Xbox One generation now and start pushing these systems and see what we can get out of them. The racing games are always a really good way of showcasing how powerful a console is. I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed Forza Horizon 5. Motorsport's always a bit different because you've got like, it's not an open world, it's just you have track racing and you unlock cars and stuff differently. But Forza Horizon 5 was such a good game. I'm worried that this one's not going to be as good. I don't think it's a very high bar to reach, because Forza Horizon 5 was so good. It's probably my favourite racing game ever, or one of, you know. But yeah, that is a safe bet. I think that's the most likely thing we're going to see. If we don't see it, I'll be shocked. I'll be more shocked if we don't see it than if we do see it. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Are you excited for Forza or?
Well, I'm a bit out of the loop with this one. I'm trying to get on well with Forza Horizon 4,
Yeah.
but I think when it comes to Forza Motorsport, they got to wow me as much as they wowed me with Forza Motorsport 5 on like Xbox One when I went to the event at Eurogamer Expo in 2013.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I played it before the Xbox came out as well. I went to a game event and played it, and it was really good. It was all about, PlayStation are all about the adaptive triggers now, and they like they get stuck and stuff. It was like, oh, the Xbox would have rumbles in the triggers, and you'll be able to feel all the rumble from the track. I'm like, cool, I guess. And now I never even think about that anymore. It's like I almost forgot that was a thing. But that was a big thing with Forza Motorsport 5, was they talking about having rumble in the triggers. I don't even know if they still do that. It was a big thing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about with Forza, or should I move on to my second prediction?
Second prediction.
Yeah, we'll go with... let's have a fun one. We'll go with the Gears collection. So the Marcus Phoenix collection is rumoured. It would be the first time that Gears 2 and 3 go to a PC, because they're still not available on PC, and it would hopefully be a good showcase for Unreal Engine 5. I'm excited for it. I would love to replay some of the old Gears of War games and play some of the old multiplayer maps. Would you be excited for this, or do you think what's the point, because they're already on Xbox and they're already remastered?
I think it would make sense because I think it'll be fair. Like, there's Master Chief Collection there. It's got all the games and it's still been updated.
Yeah.
So if they were to release something like that for the Gears of War, I think it just makes much sense. Besides, I've got Gears 5 through Xbox Gold promotion.
Yeah.
And I played about an hour's worth of game on it, so I think it's not particularly that special to me. So, but I think it's really interesting for anyone who gets to re-experience Gears and how it goes for me. But I think I still remember that the Gears of War has a lot of people who fuss on so much, especially when they end up on the Locust sides and they oh, I want to join up with the Gears and not like the Locusts. I don't know how that's going to change when they get remastered with some graphics. But if they get remastered in Unreal Engine 5, now that will be something, because we definitely need Unreal Engine 5 stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I was just talking about how Forza is a showcase for graphics on the Xbox or on consoles. I feel like Gears of War is that as well. The original Gears of War was the reason I bought an Xbox 360, because I was like, this is the best looking game in the history of the world, and nothing will ever look better than this. When it first came out, it completely blew my mind when it first came out graphically in Gears 1. And it still holds up as well. It was the reason I bought a HD TV, it was the reason I bought an Xbox. So a remastered version of that, I think it'd be pretty sweet, especially if they completely push the Series S and X to their max, and we get like 120 frames, 4K ray tracing, all the bells and whistles, and also there's no multiplayer for Gears of War anymore for the original games. All the servers are closed. So if we can get the original Gears games back to play online, I'd be totally down with that. Play some Gears 2 and 3.
And not only that, if it's going to be anything like the Master Chief Collection, then you get to play on all of those maps, and have all the characters there, because you can see that the Gears of War are more synchronous with all the graphics there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow remaster the entire games and then have all the maps share the same kind of graphics, and you can play as different characters from across the series. Now that would be something.
I'd be down for that. I would love that. But I'm always the Coltrane. That's me. I'm always the Coltrane. Woo, Coltrane, baby. Coltrane's my favourite character. He's so good. I've always picked Coltrane every time. My friend's Smash Fiend or D, him as Dean, he always picks Carmine. But we always have the one character we pick all the time with him on Gears of War. We both hate Baird. He's a whiny Baird. We're not a huge fan of Baird. A lot of people like Baird though, so if you like Baird, don't take it personally. We don't personally like him that much. But I would love to just go through the original trilogy though, because the story, story is like it's macho men chainsawing like aliens, but there is some story to it, and it is, it has like there's so many cool set pieces in it. So I would love to replay some of that stuff in like remastered 4K ray tracing.
But because are not already aliens. They actually came from hell, like literally underneath the planet's crust.
Yeah. So not technically from hell, but kind of, yeah. They've always been here. They're not actually, And we brought them to the surface by putting emulsion or something? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, spoilers, guys, for the original trilogy of Gears, because you don't find that out till like the third one, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean that's my next prediction. That was my second prediction, I think. Yeah. So it'll be your third prediction now. What would you? I think we've done the safe ones now, really, haven't we? Are we going to go with something that could happen, maybe happen?
Yes.
We're going to go with possibles now. So what is a possible prediction from you?
A new Doom game.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, new Doom. I don't know if I should tell you. Go on. I was going to say a new Quake game, Quake reboot, so which is kind of the same thing. So we think maybe something new from id, I guess. Yeah. I mean, a new.
Whoa! I would say that there should be a second sequel to the 2016 Doom game, because the original Doom is brilliant.
Yeah.
The second one, they added more gameplay features, and I thought the single player is good, but it's just not so accessible. Like, you have to sign up for the Bethesda account in order to play it. So you had to go online to bypass that. And you can play the single player, but you can't really play the multiplayer unless you sign up to that. And not be that, it's just so involved. Like, they have so many features and they have a lot of nostalgia, but I think they're just trying to make it as epic as it can be. But when obviously it's just it's not really that as fun as simple as the 2006 Doom game. So I wondered if ID would end up learning from this and create a new Doom game that takes advantage of Xbox Series X.
I'd like to Returnal.
Something that is just as fun as the Doom 2016.
See, I prefer Returnal to 2016. To be honest, I think it's more quick. I like the speed, and I like the designs of the enemies and stuff more in the new one. But I mean, they did say they're probably going to make a trilogy of Doom games, so I mean, that is likely. I mean, but I have heard a rumor that they're rebooting Quake as well. So maybe there's two. They got two teams, maybe. I don't know. But also, Quake is very similar to Doom. They're both killing demons, so I mean, it'd have to look more like, I don't know, like Bloodborne kind of art style. It'd be a bit more like what Lovecraftian, I would imagine, if they did reboot it, Quake.
Well, they did have re-releases of Quake for Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
And they also did Quake Champions, which didn't fly off the ground. But bear in mind that the Doom Eternal is also much harder than the original. Yeah, definitely.
I think the Doom reboot has been really good though. I could see him making a new Doom game. I could also see him making a new Quake game. Hence why my prediction was Quake. I don't know. It might be a bit soon because they've only just released the DLC for Eternal, haven't they? About a year ago.
Yes.
So it might be a bit soon, but then they might just go Doom 3 and then have that like a splash trailer like they did with Metro Prime 4 and just be like a logo.
And you'll be like,
yeah, I'll lose my mind, and then then we won't see anything for 4 years. If you guys don't get the reference, is the fact that one of my first reactions was Metro Prime 4 reveal, and I lost my mind, and we still haven't seen any of it. It's still not out. Oh, Nintendo, you're so mean.
Yeah, the Bayonetta 3 is announced around that time, and they recently have a gameplay trailer for it, like not so long ago.
Yeah.
So maybe Metroid Prime 4 might still come. It just depends on how Nintendo's doing with things there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not Xbox prediction, but I would love to see Metro Prime 4 this year. That'd be pretty sick. I don't think it would come out this year, but I'd love to see like some gameplay. So I mean, that's both up. So I mean, you think it's a new Doom, I think it's a new Quake. Either way, I think we might see something from id, or we might not. I don't know. So I guess that's both our third predictions. So should we jump on to your fourth prediction, which would be pretty crazy or possible, maybe?
Yes. Minecraft ray tracing update.
I was going to say that earlier. That's a good one. Yes, Minecraft. Because we were talking about Minecraft. Where is that? Like, they had that before the Xbox Series X even came out. They were, like, showing it off. I thought it would be a launch title. I thought it would be, like, a launch update to the Xbox Series X. Still not here.
That's what I thought as well. Like, I thought there's a ray tracing update coming out just to show how powerful the Xbox Series X is. But,
yeah.
I mean, they literally got it running on, like, DirectX. They show all the cool stuff with it. But what we ended up with is just something that comes over to Minecraft on the PC that works with NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And it's been out for like over the years, so I thought that's ridiculous.
Yeah, where is that?
The interesting thing is that, like on Minecraft, on the beta versions of it, if you go into the settings and you turn on ray tracing, like even on the Xbox,
yeah,
then you can definitely see like the early version of the ray tracing happening on the Xbox.
Well, that's good.
And that's something that tells me that, yeah, I think this is definitely going to come sooner than later. It just depends if the UK side of the main chain is going to like finish it off.
I hope so. I'm frustrated that hasn't happened yet. That is one of something I was thinking about earlier. Yeah, give me some ray tracing. Let's have some lovely visuals.
It does look really good on the PC if you have a RTX card, but the problem is that these cards are inflated in price because of all that scalping happening.
Yeah, and also probably parts shortages because of the war in Ukraine as well, I imagine.
And COVID.
And COVID. Blimenek, yeah, and COVID. Yeah, I mean, I want that. Yes. Let's go to Microsoft and force them to put ray tracing in our game. Why are you not putting ray tracing in? God damn it!
Even better, why not put ray tracing on the original Xbox games as well?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's just put ray tracing on everything. But I mean, look, the Series X can handle it. I don't understand why they haven't added it to Minecraft yet. You're right. That's the prediction that should happen. I have my doubts though, but it should. As you said, it was showed at the launch of the Xbox, so they still haven't done it yet. Which is like, come on now. Sad face. Should I move on to my fourth prediction?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, I got a couple of them. I don't know which one. I'm going to go with a pretty crazy one, which could happen. I'm going to say Hellblade 2 is a 2022 game. It's going to be a big holiday title for us because we've seen gameplay for it. We've seen they've had the gameplay of Senua running through a cave from a giant baby man thing that was on fire. We had the big gameplay for him. Basically, that was the Game Awards last year. So where is it? I mean, if we see gameplay for it, surely it's going to be closer in development than some other games. Like Fable, we haven't seen anything.
I haven't actually played much of Hellblade.
No.
But I think what I've seen, Hellblade 2 is actually looking pretty interesting in terms of graphics.
It looks incredible. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. And it's Unreal 5 again. We were talking about Unreal 5 earlier. And it's got ray tracing, and it's got all the bells and whistles. Yeah, I feel like it's further on development than a lot of games. Like Fable, all we've seen is a CGI trailer. There's some games in which we know are far out. Like Perfect Dark, we've already seen a CGI trailer for that as well. I feel like Hellblade 2 is closer in development than we think. I think it's going to be. I'm hoping it's a 2022 game. But if not, I think it might even be it might be a quarter one 2023 game, maybe like January, February game. I think it's closer than people think. I think it's coming out before the XD3, so I would say within a year. This year, from a year today, it'll be out. I think that's my prediction. Ooh. So yeah, now it's coming. We're down to the final crazy prediction. Let's get crazy. Alice, what is your crazy prediction?
It's GoldenEye remake.
Woo! That's not that crazy at all. I actually think that would be it's been leaked quite a lot. I think we actually might be getting that. So
the recent article says that some of the staff at Rare have unlocked achievements for GoldenEye remaster.
So that looks like it might happen. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that comes out this year. That'd be a really fun game to play. Don't know how long we're going to play it for. I have a feeling I might play it for like an hour and then never play it again. But it'd be fun. I'm tempted to be an odd job.
Well, bear in mind that Rare Replay has just came out like about 7 years ago, and you have lots of games, and one of them you can play Perfect Dark as well as like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, and that is true. So they have all the original Rare games. I think the only reason the GoldenEye took so long is because of legal reasons.
Licensing.
Licensing, exactly. I'm down for that. Bring it back. Bring back GoldenEye. I don't think it's that crazy of a prediction, actually. I think that might actually happen.
And Zoomers are like, what? Why is GoldenEye special? It just came out in 1995, even before they were born.
GoldenEye. I mean, if you've never played GoldenEye, it was the first real console shooter. I think Halo was the first one to bring in the dual sticks, which is like normal shooter stuff now. But GoldenEye was the first proper like shooter on a console that had like multiplayer and stuff. It wasn't online; it was all local, so people would always have like cardboard boxes on their head to try and like stop people from screen cheating. It's like, you're screen cheating. It's like, no, I'm not screen cheating. I'm not looking at your screen. What do you mean? But it was the original shooter. If you play it now, the controls are so wonky. I'm hoping that they got modern controls for it. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun though. When it comes out, as I said, I'll be Old Job because everyone hates Old Job because he's short, so he's the hardest one to shoot. He's the most small hitbox.
I played that far already, but I think I heard that the last level was an absolute pain in the arse.
Yeah, well, it's in multiplayer because you pick a James Bond character for the multiplayer. Odd Job is everyone is like bans Odd Job in tournaments and stuff because he's too short. So he's hard to hit. So
I think he's got a bit of a short shelf life. I would say.
So yeah, I mean that's your crazy prediction. Should I move on to my final prediction?
Yep.
So on the PlayStation podcast I was on this week, I mentioned the Series P handheld console Xbox is something I would like to see. So I'm not going to say that again because I've already done that one. So I'm going to do something different for this one. Let's go with Fallout New Vegas 2. Why not? Obsidian is now part of Xbox. They made Fallout New Vegas, which is a lot of people's favorite Fallout game. Bethesda are like, we're making Starfield, and in 5 years' time we're going to make Elder Scrolls, and in 5 years' time after that we're going to make Fallout. Like, it's like, okay, so what, we're going to wait 10 years for a new Fallout game? Like, come on now. I feel like we need to have a New Vegas 2. And if not a New Vegas 2, maybe they send it to In Exile, because they used to make they're like the starter team of Fallout, and they make their own version of Fallout. Fallout New London? I don't know. What would you... I think we might see a new Fallout game this year. It might be. It might not. It's probably not going to come out this year, but we might see a new Fallout because as I said, Bethesda are leaving it on the shelf for like, and they're going to leave it on the shelf for another 10 years before we get an official Fallout 5. So I think we might get a spin-off New Vegas to New London, New... I don't know, new California, new... I'm trying to come up with...
How about Fallout, new whatever?
New whatever. Whole new... And also a rumoured one is... they also rumoured that they might be doing a Fallout remaster collection, similar to the Gears of War collection, which would be pretty sweet if they did a remaster of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and it would be pretty nice. But yeah, I would like to just see a new Fallout, just because it's a good series. It's probably one of the biggest IPs that Xbox owns now, and we don't want to just leave it on the shelf to die. Surely we've got to have someone develop a Fallout.
Mind you that Fallout New Vegas is actually a popular game with trans people as well. So I think it will be really welcomed if the New Vegas 2 would be announced.
Yeah. I mean, there's rumours that there's talks in Obsidian that they're going to make a Fallout New Vegas 2. They've put in talks to do it, but obviously if that's the case, it hadn't even started development yet. So... And the only issue we have is Obsidian's making Avowed, and then we know they're making Pentiment, and they're making Outer Worlds 2, and they're working on Grounded. So they've got 4 games in development at the moment, and they're really going to have time to make a Fallout game as well. That's why I was saying in XL as well would be a good choice.
I think there's really too much on the table, so it's not likely to happen. And besides, I haven't even played Fallout New Vegas, so I just don't really see if there's ever going to be a sequel to it. But I don't know. It's just it was actually more popular than I anticipated to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people's favorite Fallout game is Fallout New Vegas. I didn't realize at the time, and also I feel like Fallout 76 is even though they fixed it now and it's got it working, it does feel like it's like a tainted product. They need to bring out a single player Fallout to kind of fix it, like trying to get people more interested in the franchise again.
From what I've seen, it's pretty much dog shit. Yeah,
I haven't played it, to be honest, but I've heard it's dog shit. So I think they fixed a lot of it, but then Cyberpunk's the same thing. They we fixed it now. It's it's too late now. Should have released it when it was working. You shouldn't release a broken game and then fix it a year later.
Is it still 50% off it?
Cyberpunk, I'm not sure.
Because I think they should discount it by 75%.
Yeah.
And then we can play.
Yeah.
But that is a bit cynical for me to say that.
No, you're right, because it was broken when it released. They should release... If you're going to release a game, you should release it when it's not broken. As much as Starfield and Redfall being delayed is disappointing, I'm glad they're delaying it if it's not ready. I'd rather them delay it than release a game that's broken, So, I mean, there is that. And, I'm hoping that we're going to get some games this year. I mean, it's looking like a barren year this year. I mean, on PS5 there's only God of War, and I doubt that's coming out this year. I have a feeling that's going to get delayed. Yeah, and there's nothing for the Xbox at the moment. But after the showcase, hopefully we'll have some stuff. Yeah, I mean, so that's all our predictions. Do you have any little predictions that you would hope to see, like our official predictions are done? Any throwaway ones?
I think I have one prediction though.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Ruby stuff.
Oh, you said that last year, I think. I was worried this year was going to be the same as our last year's predictions, where I said all the same stuff. So I think I said Fallout New Vegas 2 last year. Yeah, and the portable console. And you said Ruby.
You never know. Probably there's a skin for Katana known as Salem in Halo. Oh, wait a minute, that's Paladins. Sorry, Salem for Saris. I don't know.
Maybe we might see Wolfenstein 3 or Indiana, because there's two teams in Machine Games. One of them's making Indiana Jones, and I feel like Wolfenstein's been in development for a while. Maybe we'll see Banjo 3E, because that's been teased as well. There's a load of people, conspiracy theories, because Phil Spencer's been playing Banjo-Kazooie on his Xbox, so everyone's like, oh my god, there must be a new Banjo game, because Phil Spencer's playing Banjo. So, okay, that's a bit of a leap, mate, but okay.
Well, how about it'll be Banjo-Kazooie Bad Fur Day?
Oh man, if Conquer, like crossover, synergy.
No, like Bad Fur Day version of like Banjo-Kazooie, where Banjo talks and drinks and stuff, where Kazooie's just like really proper pissed about this bear and just try to like get his try to settle some paperwork, try to get on with each other, and try to buy the house.
Yeah.
Like proper adult issues.
That'd be funny. I made like a big list of fake. I made a fake leak, which was as a joke, and some people actually believed it. And I was like, I had Halo Kart. I would totally play Halo Kart if that was a real thing.
Wait, people actually believed in this shit?
Some people believed it. Yeah, I had a list. I started the.
Oh my god!
I started the list off with normal stuff like Forza, Gears of War collection, and then it got towards the bottom, and I was like, handheld Xbox, Halo Kart, Forza Wars, Crackdown 3 remastered, because like Crackdown 3 is infamously probably the worst Xbox game ever. So Crackdown 3 remastered, I thought that was funny. That made me laugh. What else was there? A Mandalorian game, which is also possible.
Yeah, but have you ever felt so proud that you've done a bit of fake news on the net?
Yeah, I made the fake. I said my uncle works for Xbox, and I made the fakest looking document ever, and I even put at the top, "Don't share." Illegal, or like your like don't share. This should not be shared to the public or whatever at the top in brackets, and like made it. Yeah, I made the fakest looking thing ever, and then people believed it. It was hilarious.
Well, it should be only shared by the beak of the eagle, so it's delivered by the eagle.
I'll have to show you. Yeah, I might actually, if I edit, yeah, I'll probably put it in this. I'll put this at the end of the video. I'll show you guys. But yeah, I mean that's it with the predictions, I guess. Unless you had anything else you wanted to say.
Yeah, I think we're just been through a hell lot.
Yeah.
So I think we're just pretty much covered up. But I just hope like we can like do more podcast episodes.
I would love to do more
for them to like support you all. But I think you were considering like running the Patreon soon. So
possibly.
How's that getting on?
I mean, we're not quite there yet. I want to try and get. My goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you guys want to subscribe, comment, subscribe, that'd be great. I've been stuck around the 4,500 subscriber mark for about 3 or 4 years now. We've just stopped growing, and I don't know why. So if you guys want to subscribe and share it with your friends, tell your grandma and your cousin or your second cousin about the podcast, just let people know and like get them on board. That's and then maybe do a Patreon at some point.
Well, it's got like 4.64 thousand subscribers at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep on following that.
Yeah, I hope so.
If you don't watch enough of it, then you'll definitely see more Don't Laugh challenges.
Yeah, that's my new thing. But yeah, hopefully I want to make the channel bigger. And I love doing this podcast, but obviously it's quite hard to do and quite time consuming. So it's something we want to work on and hopefully do more. Hopefully do a podcast in a week or two to see if our predictions came true or anything came true and what kind of stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I hope you guys like the new format where I've got my webcam up and basically doing a lot of stuff on the fly at the moment. But yeah, it's. I think this has been fun. I've really enjoyed doing the podcast with you as per usual.
Me too.
Hopefully we'll do this again in a couple of weeks' time. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below and subscribe and leave us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to us.
I can do it one step better.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Like, comment, subscribe. Also, Happy Pride.
Yeah, happy Pride. Fuck the haters. There you go.
Yeah. Dab on those haters.
I'm dabbing, but you can't see it. I'm good. Every time I dab, I lose 20 subscribers. I'm going to stop.
I still have that gif of you like dropping the microphone.
Yeah, I need to work on. Yeah. Also, if you guys enjoy PlayStation content, I'm regularly on the PS We Trust podcast, the PlayStation podcast, as well. I'm usually the voice of reason, the voice of the Xbox people. When they're trashing on Xbox, I'm usually there to try and defend us a bit.
So if you like to see him getting roasted by the other PlayStation commentators, watch their podcast. Way!
It's a lot of fun though. I really like those guys. Those guys are great. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed it, as I said, let us know. And if there's anything you want us to change or add or whatever, also let us know there. Any ideas for the podcast would be great. And until next time, too sweet.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow me on Twitter @PotatoChief or on YouTube @PotatoChief, or follow us on all podcast services. Thank you for listening.